Welcome back to the cryptoworld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now the price of ETH is forming a giant symmetrical triangle pattern in the short term, while the price of Bitcoin has already broken to the downside from this rising wedge pattern. More on that in just a moment, so definitely stick around. First of all, just really quickly letting you know that on the daily Bitcoin chart, nothing much has really changed since my last video. So if you're new to the channel and you want to know what's going on the daily time frame and what's most likely to happen next here on the daily time frame, then check out my last video on this channel. But anyway, moving straight into the short term, looking at the 2-hour Bitcoin to US dollar chart, we can see that over the last one day, obviously the price of Bitcoin has broken to the downside from this rising wedge pattern, which typically is a bearish pattern, as I also mentioned in my last video. And now, technically speaking, because we've seen this break to the downside with multiple candle closes confirming the break to the downside, we now have an active technical price target in place based on this pattern, which is simply sitting at the bottom of the wedge, which is at around 15.8k approximately. And even if you measure out the price target this way, it still comes out pretty close to the full technical price target, but instead this measurement is sitting closer towards around 16,000. So once again, around 15.8k to 16,000 is basically where the technical price targets are sitting for this rising wedge pattern. And also, as always, just keep in mind that between right now and these technical price targets sitting lower, there's also some other potential levels of support where we could see a bounce in the price of Bitcoin, kind of like what we're seeing at the moment as of recording this video. And one level of support that I'll be looking at just in the short term would simply be this previous low right here, which is sitting at roughly around 16.2k. Once again, that could act as some short-term support. And as for resistance, in case we see a bit more of a bounce from these levels and instead start to flip more bullish, which is not usually the most likely scenario from a rising wedge pattern, but technically it can happen. And so if that happens, then for resistance in the short term, I'll still be watching this price range, which is coming into play in between around 16.9k to 17,000. And now zooming out to the weekly Bitcoin chart, we still have this 50% retracement level sitting at pretty much exactly 16.3k, acting as some major support on the weekly time frame. But anyway, other than that, not much has changed for Bitcoin over the last one day. So getting straight into the Ethereum part of this video, this right here is the daily ETH to US dollar chart. And right now, as I'm recording this video, the price of ETH is still finding support along this golden pocket, which once again, as I've been saying in recent videos here on the channel, is coming into play in between around 1180 and 1210. But if the price of ETH does end up confirming a breakback below around 1180, the bottom of this golden pocket, then the next Fibonacci support level to the downside would be this 78.6% Fibonacci level, which is sitting at roughly around 1050 to 1060. But once again, like I've also been saying quite a lot recently on the channel, the most likely scenario for the price of ETH over the next few days at least is most likely going to be some more choppy sideways price action, kind of like what we've seen over the last few days. And as for resistance levels on the daily time frame, we still have this level right here at around 1250 approximately, still acting as a bit of resistance for the price of ETH in terms of the daily candle closes. And beyond that, here on the daily time frame, we also have some resistance at around 1360, around 1470, and around 1.6k approximately. And now if you zoom into the shorter term, taking a look at the 2-hour time frame for the price of ETH, we can see that as of right now, the price of ETH is forming a giant symmetrical triangle pattern, which is technically more of a neutral pattern, so it doesn't really have a bullish or bearish bias, which means we basically need to wait to see the break either below support or above resistance in order to set up the next technical price targets. And right now, the support line for this pattern is sitting at around 1180 to 1190 approximately, and the resistance line for this pattern is sitting at roughly around 1260 approximately. And now it's entirely possible that we could continue to see the price of ETH just in the short term chop around for a little longer inside this symmetrical triangle pattern, because once again, as I just said earlier on the daily time frame, one of the most likely scenarios here potentially over the next couple of days is most likely going to be a little bit more choppy sideways sideways price action. But then the moment the price of ETH eventually confirms a break above resistance or below support, once again, that will set up a technical price target based on this pattern right here. And now just looking at those technical price targets, if we see a confirmed break above that resistance level that I just mentioned, then the technical price target would be sitting at around 1430. So from the point of the breakout to that price target, that would be a gain of roughly around 13%. But on the flip side, if we see a confirmed break below that support level that I just mentioned, then we could see a technical price target down here at around 1050 approximately, where we also have that Fibonacci level of support. And now, believe it or not, but no matter what direction the price takes here, whether we see a confirmed break below support or a confirmed break above resistance, you can still actually make money no matter what. And if you want to know how to do that, then check out the video popping up in the top left of your screen right now, because that video right there basically shows you how to make money if the price is going either up or down. And in case you're wondering, the video in the bottom left shows you how to make money if the price is chopping around sideways. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.